Do you like your holiday comedies all tool-timed up with boring characters, stale jokes, recycled gags from funnier films, shameless heartstring pulling, and comedian Tim Allen sleepwalking through his performance while on his way to his next Toy Story sequel? We've got all that and much, much more with Christmas with the Kranks. And before we flush it, we're going to take it out and play with it a little. Restroom Cinema. We're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to Jingle Turds. December is our month-long celebration of some of the worst Christmas films ever made. I am Honor Knight, your head Santa Claus turd maker right here in the Restroom. As always, I'm joined by my turd-making co-cinematic flushers, Cold Miser Colleen Griffin.
Ho, ho, ho.
And Heat Miser Nora Crest.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Also joining us as part of our Jingle Turds cold fixing team this time out is fucking nobody, because they all fell asleep. We had guests scheduled, folks. I don't know what happened. We lost two guests, not one, but
they're
two.
Skipping Christmas with the Kranks.
Does the restroom smell that bad? Maybe it's us.
We should have lit a match.
We should. Yes, we should have. Extended co-flusher Paul the Grinch Hawkins has spent some time in our stall, and he has read the writing on the restroom wall regarding this week's Jingle Turd. Take it away, Paul.
Okay. Hello. How's it going? Oh, really? I don't care. Honestly, I'll kill that orangutan. Right. So, this is Christmas with the Kranks. It's a 2004 comedy starring Tim Allen, trying to pull off another Santa Claus, Jamie Lee Curtis, who had nothing better to do, and some other gits. What? No, I draw the line at the music. Anyway, this thing cost $60 million to... Fucking hell. How did this cost $60 million? And it made $96.6 million at the box office. Not sure why, but there you go. Well, that's it. Have fun, I guess. Oh yeah, Honor, I'll be having words with you. You jumped up little...
Film should have been called either Crank Up the Christmas Vomit, with a K, or Buzz Lightyear's Holiday Shit Cramps, also with a K. Holy cow, guys. I've had medical procedures that were funnier than anything in this film.
I really don't know why they didn't call it
weird.
Skipping Christmas. I mean, as a serious
All right,
title.
we'll talk about that.
No,
Right.
you know that was the title of the book that it
Right.
was based on.
No, little known fact hidden in the credits at the very end. I was going to save this for the very end because you brought that up.
Ugh.
It says it's based on A Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
2 weeks ago, we just flushed How Did the Grinch...
know.
I'm pretty sure...
How did the Grisham steal
No,
Christmas?
how did
Wasn't it based on a Grisham novel?
How did Grisham steal literature? Because, man, oh man, he makes a lot of money for some of the crap he cranks out. Haha, get it, Crank, with a K, folks. With a K. If you ever wanted to see a $60 million tax write-off, here you go, folks.
What did they spend that on?
That's my big question. We'll talk about
Like,
that
they-
as we go.
the
Because it's
fake
not in the
snow,
talent.
the
It's
fake
not in the
snow?
talent.
I mean, come on.
No, the lighting budget on
Oh,
that
come
was
on.
insane.
Come on.
It was the Christmas light.
It was that shitty CGI
It was the big
snowman at the end.
CGI scene
Yeah,
for
I know.
the end of the movie.
And
That
we'll
we'll
talk
get
about
to.
that.
God.
I got to talk about that, when we get to it. This film is what was left on the cutting room floor after they finished editing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That's an insult to Christmas Vacation.
It is,
I don't even really like that movie.
What?
What
Yeah,
did you
I
say?
know. Like, apparently, we're gonna have a new opening on our show next year. So if you like podcasting and you like crappy movies, Miss Griffin's gonna be moving on.
I bring the
Did you just say you
controversy.
don't
How do you
like
say
that?
that? How can you
I
say
bring
that?
the controversy. I am like a Trump surrogate.
Did
on
Did
a
you
news
say
program.
those words?
That
Did
is
those
the-
words just come out
I
of your
know
mouth?
that is like probably the greatest Christmas film ever made, next to Die Hard.
And Scrooge.
Yeah, Scrooge.
A
I'll get him.
Christmas Story.
She's high on cough syrup and Zicam, so just ignore everything. Miss Griffin's not feeling too well this week. Just ignore that. She's fine with the movie. She's fine, folks. You're gonna lose her. You're gonna kill our audience base. Now we're down to 7 listeners as opposed to 9.
Oh no,
What?
they want to hear. They want to listen. They want to hate. Listen to me now.
Oh man.
I'm like the Ann Coulter of movies.
Yeah, no shit. We should get moving. Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis both appear on screen, still deciding whether or not they want to appear on set. They're in that bed, and you see the look on their face like, we don't even want to do this fucking movie.
Yeah, and Jamie Lee Curtis is like married to somebody who's actually funny.
Who's that?
So
In real
like,
life.
Oh, real life.
yeah.
Real life.
So how is this like pretending to find him charming and funny?
Does Tim?
I didn't understand the setup of the scene. I mean, they're sitting there. They're both sitting up. They're both looking in different directions. I'm sorry, if you're having a restless night's sleep, you're at least in a quasi-sleep position. Like the scene would have been better had they both been on their sides, facing away from each other, just eyes open, not sleeping. I'm like, what are they doing? Did they just have a fight all night? Like, what's happening in this movie? Like,
Does Tim Allen even have a fan base at this point? I
don't
think he does.
No, he's got a super popular show on ABC.
Oh, does he?
Still does well.
Oh.
And actually, I told a friend of mine from high school that I was covering this movie tonight, and he was like,
Whoa.
excuse me.
That's all right. Chunk it out. Chunk it out.
I'm choking on the words. He goes, I fucking love Tim Allen.
Oh, yeah. It was a good one to choke on. Yeah, I don't think any of our listeners are Tim Allen fans. And if you are, seriously.
Oh, no. I think they probably would disagree.
I don't know. Curtis is decked out in a mousy brown wife hair. I guess it's a wig, which serves as a timestamp between when she was full-on sexy in True Lies and her old lesbian look she's currently rocking on Scream Queens. Okay, there you go. Is this mic on? I don't think so. Gotta check my audio. All right, I guess. Well, there's the Anthony Diner laugh. It's going. That's where it's gonna go. Right in there. Cheech Marin title credit made me think either A, this film might actually be funny, or more likely B, we now know who Tim Allen's drug supplier was on this shoot.
Oh man.
Hey, no, Tim Allen was the drug supplier.
Oh,
on
he was.
From the 60s when he got arrested?
Yeah.
70s. No, he's not that old, okay?
He's not that old. Come on.
We don't want any lawsuits from Tim Allen about his age.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. Both are terrible, fairly terrible in this movie. I don't know why they both were cast because
Cheech Marin could have played nobody. Like,
well, no, he doesn't need to be there either. We'll talk about him. As he comes up, but
it's just nothing.
Based on the book Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. Who knew John Grisham could write anything that didn't involve lawyers in mortal danger?
Well, and it didn't even take place in the South.
Also, the book should have been retitled Skipping Christmas in this film. Drinking game. There's your drinking game, Crest. Take a shot of eggnog every time the filmmakers worked the original title of this turd into the running time. Why didn't they just call it Skipping Christmas?
There's another movie coming out called Surviving Christmas.
Oh, you're kidding.
And so
come on.
It's like, why didn't they win that then? Because this is actually based on, this has source material.
Yeah, but they both suck.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
No, the Surviving Christmas, that was that Ben Affleck, that Batfleck crap, right? Okay, all right. I want to get it right. Screenplay by Chris Columbus. We'll now be handing out your vomit buckets. Take one and pass the rest down the row. What?
What
Really?
was the other movie that we did that was Chris Columbus? And I was like, oh my God, this is the Chris Columbus? we did another movie.
We did?
And I was like, oh my God, Chris Columbus.
I am
this is
so
what
sick
happened?
of this. This is what happened to him, I guess. I don't know. He's just cranking out crappy screenplays and directing shitty films.
Cranking.
With a K. Your letter for today is K. Okay, use it in a sentence. Like colitis. Oh, and constipated.
Or kill me now.
Or night. Please stop making these horrible jokes. But okay, I'll go. Cue goofy comedy music as Tim Allen will now cliche himself across the backlot street with various stale gags that even Warner Brothers cartoons stop using at the 4-minute mark. So let me recap. They send their daughter, they're a couple, they're a suburban couple, and they have to send their daughter off. The daughter's going to the Peace Corps. A really attractive girl. Her last name's Galonzo or Galanzo. I don't know.
It's right, but she's a terrible actress.
Terrible actress, and they ship her off. And so this is right around the holidays, so she wasn't going to be home for Christmas, but they're still going through the Christmas motions. And it's pouring rain, and Alan has to go into this stupid cake shop or some butcher shop to get some fucking shit for a cake for her.
I don't understand why she's going to a butcher shop to get white chocolate. Doesn't make any sense to me, but okay.
Yeah. So it's you can tell the backlot streets. It's one street they had rented because they use it over and over and over again. You can always tell
I know. I went on the Warner Brothers tour earlier this year with my mom and my sister, so I was like, oh, I know right where that is.
Okay, so you got okay. So he has to go in there and puddle splashes him, a car splashes him, he steps in the puddle. You know how that goes.
It's like the worst recreation of Singing in the Rain ever.
Do you have any idea how much it costs to call from an airplane?
In 2004, it cost a lot.
However, the more important question here, what asshole would make a call from an airplane phone? The daughter calls them from the airplane phone. I'd kill her.
through the whole movie, the daughter is an asshole.
Well, she's
Well, she's hardly in the movie, so it's hard to peg the whole thing on her.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it does though.
She is kind of a dick.
No, but the whole film falls on her later on. She's the whole crux of the end of the movie.
The problem with this film is that this girl, up until this point, had basically made a career. I mean, she's been acting for quite a while, but prior to this film, she was like the bitch girl in all of the other movies. Like in Freaky Friday, she was a bitch.
Oh, was she? Okay.
In Dodgeball, she was a bitch. And then a Cinderella Story, she was a bitch. Now she's like a nicer version of herself.
She's much better at being a bitch.
Yeah. She's Argentinian, so she's sexy and, she's working that angle.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. I couldn't get any wetter, Griff.
That's what she said.
All right, that wasn't my joke though. I mean, I just noticed it now, so I figure let me cut to that, and then I'll get to what I wrote.
No, I was just thinking about Tim Allen, and that's the last thing I would think.
Oh yeah, you're right. First of all, how big was that dump tank above Allen? He got hit with so much.
God.
He got hit with so much water. I thought he was appearing in the Poseidon Adventure.
It was like Flashdance.
Yeah.
It was like Flashdance on a loop.
All right, that was better than my Poseidon Adventure. Yeah, it's edited a couple different ways to look like he got more water than he did. 6-minute mark, folks. Not the kind of wet you're thinking of, and again, it's Tim Allen, so
guys, we're only at the 6-minute mark.
Yeah, we're only
buckle up.
We're sorry to horrify it there. So yeah, he gets the stupid white chocolate. There's just those obviously stale gags. They're not funny in this one. I'll address them now as we go on, but they just every time it's all half-assed. It's like nobody was like 100% in on this, and and it shows. It shows in this.
I mentioned to Nora, I was like, this movie is a lot darker than I remember. And I said, if they had gone like really dark, this could be like a good twisted horror comedy.
Or they could have just gone straight dark comedy, but it was just like asshole comedy.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a War on Christmas by Fox News.
Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Crank. If your last name is Crank, isn't it? Damn it. If your last name is Crank, isn't it generally assumed you have? God damn it. If your last, I did that shot of tequila. Now here we go. If your last name is Crank, isn't it generally assumed that you'd have the personality of an asshole? See, it went all that way, and then I just the balloon deflated itself.
Everybody in this movie had the weirdest names. It was like a Dr. Seuss. All the names are so weird.
Speaking of weird, of the three of us on the show, only one of us saw this in the theater when it came out. Which one? Raise your hand if you did.
Okay,
looking around
It's me.
I had a hard time.
Was it me?
I had a hard time seeing over the cinematic bowl, but yeah, there it is. There's your hand. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you in 2004?
Okay, you know what? I actually, the memories came flooding back, and the interesting thing is, I had moved home from college in the past year, and it was right after Bush was reelected, and and my mom and I were both grieving and going, oh God. And we wanted something dumb. We're like, oh, mother-daughter bonding, Christmas movie. We just want something dumb and funny. Well, we got the dumb, but not the funny. And we just kept looking at each other throughout the entire movie going like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was, yeah.
This movie was uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable. I'm glad I saw it for free because I would have been. Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, me too.
Because it starts out as one thing and becomes something else, and we'll talk about that as we go. Luther, what are you doing? Just acting like a complete idiot, like I did on all 8 seasons of Home Improvement. 9-minute mark. This is when he comes up with the idea of taking a cruise instead of doing Christmas. Apparently, I'll get to this joke in a second. So he's in a Hawaiian shirt and he's dancing like a fucking moron. That's what I was referring to in that joke. It's the same act. It's lazy.
That was a weird.
It's lazy. It is weird because it's.
Well, no, it steals from so much other stuff. Like this whole cruise thing to me, like him seeing the poster and the zoom in on the poster to me was like a total ripoff of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, well, a lot of this is from last.
Imagining the pool.
What's
and,
that song?
All
Bing
that
Crosby.
It's like, oh my God, how many movies are you gonna rip off with one movie?
Exactly. It's mainly that he's a really bad Clark Griswold in this, and that's what he's just doing a half-ass version of it.
But he's not even Clark Griswold because Clark Griswold loves Christmas.
Oh, that's true.
And he just he doesn't give a shit. He just literally takes all his receipts and adds it up. How much you spent? Like, look how stupid we are. We're spending all this money.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
really
that was the
weird.
next line.
Both sides were wrong on this.
The next line is he says, "We spent $6,100 on Christmas. First of all, if my old lady blew $6,000 on any holiday, I'd immediately leave her for a younger version of Jamie Lee Curtis."
Yeah.
All right. You're still caught up on the figures. Forget the figure. It was a cheap joke. Well, no,
how
unless...
much money is this guy making
First
where
of
they
all-
can afford to spend $6,100?
Well, exactly, yeah. I
In
guess it's-
that economy.
we should address that.
During
Yeah, I got,
2004, and he's not
Yeah.
even a partner at his firm. I don't even understand that.
The thing is, he thinks if they go on a cruise and fuck all the Christmas shit, they're gonna save like $3,000 because the cruise is like
and he brought out like a
$3,000.
1991 boombox.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
where he
know,
got that
I know.
from.
2004. If anybody out there is spending $6,100 on Christmas, you guys got to get another hobby.
Well,
That's
and
way too
when their
much.
daughter's already in college, they're paying like I assume maybe she didn't get a full ride to
No, she's
Brown.
not. She's going to Peace
She's in the
Corps.
Peace Corps.
She says later she went to Brown.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
all right.
They paid
They
for her to
paid
go to
for
college,
that.
and now she's in the Peace Corps. But my thing on this is the $6,100 isn't like they spent $6,100, at fucking Toys R Us buying every possible game you could get ever.
Or Adam and Eve.
They were putting on parties and they're
Oh, yeah,
donating
they're
to
doing
all
all
these
bullshit.
things
Yeah, it's
and-
all
Oh
bullshit.
no, they spent $5,000 on that on their electric bill.
I am skipping Christmas. Great way to work the title of Grisham's book in a film that didn't even bother to use the title. I don't know why I wrote that joke, and we've already steamrolled over that. Take a shot.
Drink every time. Yeah, drink
That's your
every time
drinking
you hear
game, yeah.
it.
And you hear it a lot. It's a lot. That's I guess maybe at that point it was they knew they had to change the title, so they intentionally kept putting that in there as an insult, kind of a jab. I think that's maybe the reason why it kept turning up so much, because they say that a lot. I mean, a fucking lot. Like you notice a lot. Also, did offices not have email back in 2004? Why is Alan handing out his memo? Is we're
I
not
don't
doing
think
Christmas?
I don't
like
think
he's-
all companies did at that time. They
No,
didn't have
yeah, they
company
did. Yeah,
emails.
yes. In 2004, yes, they did. He's delivering it like he's like newspapers in the 1920s, around the 12-minute mark. Like what?
Then
No,
you
they
couldn't have the dramatic thing of him interacting with
No.
all of the peons that
No,
he
you
surrounds.
hit
that
that.
him.
It's an enter button on your keyboard. There.
I know,
hit
but you
that.
had to have the scene so that you could see all of their reactions
Man,
on what a
that's-
fucking
And
asshole he is.
No, because
but
they
it's
could've
so
done the-
extreme. But the thing is,
No, that's-
they're equally shitty to him.
Chris, you just have a close-up shot of him pressing enter on the keyboard, and then you have the reaction shots of each people looking at their monitor and reacting to
It's
it. That's
still
how
not
you
as dramatic as him handing them,
No, I
with
disagree
the
with that.
letterhead
I disagree.
paper.
Come on, letterhead paper.
Yeah, but
seriously.
but you know what? Like
Okay.
in real life, I'm sorry if somebody's that much of a dick and actually has the balls to hand you something on like that on the letterhead, you're not gonna talk back to him.
But he's
the way
handing
they
it to everybody, like he knows everybody. Like he's just wantonly just passing out. Like,
everybody in this town knows everybody.
and everybody in his office knows him too. I would
creepy.
like, why do you give me this fucking note? Who gives a shit if you're skipping Christmas? I could care less if you're skipping Christmas.
Not just he's skipping Christmas, it's like he's banning Christmas from his line
That's
of
what
sight.
it seems like. That's what it's. Yeah, I know.
So they're both wrong on this. That's what's so weird about this movie is that both sides are like really wrong.
She's not ordering Christmas cards either. First of all, who the hell makes this much fuss over Christmas cards? The store owner acts like Curtis committed a war crime. What is the deal with that fucking guy? Because she goes and she's trying to avoid the guy who owns the Hallmark store down in the back lot. And that mother...
It's like super domestic.
But I don't understand. Like, nobody acts like this. I understand it's a heightened reality film, but even so, it has to work. It has to have an internal logic. No store owner is going to chase a woman out into the street and berate her over not
Well,
ordering
you don't
Christmas
know how much.
cards.
This is what I'm saying. How much money was she fucking spending on Christmas cards? How many hundreds of people? If you're
Well, a
a
Hallmark
small
store.
business owner, if you're
Oh,
a small
boy, here
business
we
owner
go.
and your bread and butter for that time of year,
It's her?
that's why they have Black Friday, because that's why they call it Black Friday, because that's the fucking day of the year most retail businesses go into the black for the whole year.
Yeah, we know.
So if
right.
you're expecting this woman who's going to buy the premium cards
Jesus
and a
Christ.
huge order
Hallmark,
of them,
Hallmark.
and then she's like, "Oh, P.S. Fuck off." So too bad you don't get my,
Yeah, but there's-
$1,500 this year that you were counting on.
Yeah, but
You know.
there's other
I mean,
people
that's
in
really
that
the story
town.
on these guys. They are fucking so many
No.
people in this small. I mean,
I don't
I'm
know
assuming
about
they live in
that.
Chicago, but this little neighborhood that they live in,
Oh, it's not Chicago.
they're really
Yeah,
fucking
it's
over
like-
their neighbors and everybody else.
There are plenty of people who go on cruises and quote unquote skip Christmas who still do the minimum.
I'm skipping Christmas
Oh,
right
like
now by
decorate
being in
their
this
house and
restroom.
shit.
Well, decorate their house, send out Christmas cards, and then like peace out. We're going on this cruise. Peace out.
But see, these people are so over the top. I mean, they hold an annual Christmas Eve party. Everything they do is over the top. So all of a sudden, if somebody, it'd be like if the Salvation Army was like, "Yeah, P.S. We're not doing fucking Christmas.
Well,
Sorry."
that'd be
everybody."
fine, but the Salvation Army
it's
are...
all or nothing. It's all or nothing
I
with
know.
them.
Can you believe that, Mr. Frohmeyer? Here we go. Dan Aykroyd ate 2 of those Boy Scouts. Oh shit!
Oh my god!
I
dyed his hair black.
First of all, did Dan Aykroyd eat 2 of those Boy Scouts before they started shooting? The answer is yes, he did. 18-minute mark. I guess we should back up and say, why is Dan Aykroyd in the film? Because he's barely in the film until the very end, and B, he's not funny in anything he does. They could have got any actor
because they wanted people to show up at the theater.
But Dan Aykroyd in 2004? Cress, nobody's showing up for Dan Aykroyd in 2004.
I would have shown up for I was tempted to show up for him.
No, nobody shows up for him now.
That preview put me so off, I was like, I can't.
No.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I did.
Really? Because he's not funny in this at all, guys. First, cinematic.
No, he's terrible.
And that was my next line. Cinematic turds like this are how Dan Aykroyd fills out the back end of his career since he couldn't manage to crap out a decent Ghostbusters sequel. He is He is terrible in this one.
Shut up.
No, I'm not going to shut up because he's terrible. He didn't do a Ghostbusters sequel.
You can talk about this.
No. He had nothing to do with the new Ghostbusters film. He had nothing to do with that. That's what I'm saying. He couldn't.
Yeah, he did. But anyway, we're not going to go off on Ghostbusters right now.
I'm not going to get on a Ghostbusters. I'm saying he couldn't crap. He didn't bother to do a sequel that was good enough to bring the entire original team back together. I'm not going to get an old discussion about the female team. That's what I was referring to, not the new one.
You mean Ghostbusters 2? I'm sorry.
No, Ghostbusters 3. No, Ghostbusters 3. It's 2. God, really? We're not going to... Oh, okay. I got to have a blood pressure monitor because it's going to be going off here shortly. Holy shit, Griff. So there you go. Dan Aykroyd's in this, folks. He's got a little bald spot and then about 300 pounds on him, so good luck with that. Anyway, he turns up, and he's one of the neighbors that lives across the street. And this neighbor is the guy who wrangles all the neighbors together to decorate and they'll do all this neighborhood bullshit.
But let me just say, why is it in 2004 everyone's dressing like it's the 70s?
No,
you see
hard stuff.
We have some.
Yes, and her vest.
I was like, is this movie taking place in the 70s?
Yeah.
And I missed
but you know what? Those turtlenecks are all about. Like, that was 2004. Like, shopping at the Gap and American Eagle. So that was 2004.
Right, 2004. And the genesis of the scene is because they're crapping on Christmas, they're turning away people like the Christmas card guy. Now, Tim Allen gets home, he turns away the Boy Scouts who bring this really nice tree that they
that's
usually
just
buy.
sort of a dick move. You could have just given him money.
I know. That's what Jamie Lee Curtis said, but all right, we're not going to get into because that leads to supposedly funny antics later, which it never does. I'm still waiting for the funny. There are certain things around here I'm going to miss at Christmas, like the fact that it's supposed to be freezing cold, yet you 2 idiots are probably roasting away in those heavy jackets. First of all, what the back lot they filmed it on, or wherever they filmed in that neighborhood, nobody saw their breath. Did you notice that? It wasn't cold at all. It had to have been like 82 degrees. They just threw some ice.
You knew it was hot. I mean,
it's hot as hell.
And stuff, and the grass is all green.
Come on, guys. What? Yeah, they didn't try to go film this somewhere where it might be cold. Guys, if you're going to do a Christmas, at least make it ever. I think National Lampoon's...
Well, they just tried to find a street that had, like, some form of, like,
Central they have the suburban
homes.
Yeah,
but these houses were messed up looking. Okay?
I know.
Okay, the Kranks house had light beige trim, dark beige siding, stone, and then a red door and red garage door.
Okay, I know. All right.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was bad.
Well, the thing
apparently it was filmed partially in Chicago. I think that was for the airport.
Well, it had. Well,
and
that's
then
that.
They filmed in Vancouver, in
really?
Pacific Center, Vancouver, and Culver Studios.
Oh, where the hell was this backlot? Because it was warm. It was not cold at all.
It was the Culver Studios backlot and the Downey Studios.
No, but the lack of snow was actually part of the plot line. They just did a horrible job of explaining it.
They also had a very warm set when they did National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but they did a better job of covering that. That actually looked like it was cold here.
No, I'm saying the lack of snow, though. They didn't explain it until, you realized until, a spoiler alert, it starts snowing on Christmas Eve.
Don't give us spoilers.
But that's when you find out that it was, unusual.
Yeah. Think you could run away from Christmas, huh? Well, I tried to run away from this film, but no luck. Hey-o. We gotta throw one in there just to break it up. We want Frosty. First of all, who has this much of a hard-on for putting up a plastic fucking snowman? Aykroyd's character acts like he's looking for hidden Jews during the war. 23-minute mark because he shows up. He shows up at the front. Like, Alan goes to work the next day. Fucking Jamie Lee Curtis is home alone because I guess she's a home alone wife. Anyway, these guys storm the lawn and start banging on the door like they're looking for not Anne Francis. What's her name?
Anne Frank.
Oh.
Instead of the Santa Claus, was Tim Allen the Frankenstein?
Now, if they were looking for Anne Francis, that would be cool too, but they were not. They were looking for Anne Frank. Regardless, is anybody this crazy about putting up a stupid snowman? Apparently, everybody in the neighborhood has these stupid frosty snowmen. These things are like 12 feet tall, and they look like a predator.
Yeah, but
They're
you don't
fucking
get that
scary.
reveal. You don't get that reveal.
I know,
till
later,
end.
but it's fucking scary, and everybody in the neighborhood's got to have the same one because they all got to be uniform. Like, it's very Nazi.
I think was spot on where she said this could have been a great horror film.
I think
or like
Griffin's
an episode
right.
of Black Mirror where like something made the townspeople demented about Christmas.
It is.
And, like everybody had to conform to Christmas.
No, I think you're right. This is like a Twilight Zone episode. This really is like an
right.
out. Yeah,
well, that's what Black Mirror. Yeah.
Right, and it could have been. It could have been if they went a little farther, like Griffin was saying, in that direction. But they don't. Everything's like is literally middle of the road, and nobody takes any chances at all. Anyway, there's a snowman. We'll talk about him in a bit. Oh dear God, this should be outlawed. Jamie Lee Curtis standing around in that horrendous bikini. Yes, it should.
Oh,
27-minute mark.
Come on now.
Wait a second.
No,
Hold on.
My mom's main takeaway from
Oh, Jesus.
the movie 12 years later is I remember how brave I thought she was because and you know what? She did not look hideous, but
the only thing I want to say about her in the bikini was it just the top was not big enough for her boobs, and they were falling out the bottom. And I was genuinely concerned that
she has great boobs.
I know that it was going to be a nip.
So, to recap the scene, Alan and Jamie Lee Curtis go to a mall, and he buys a couple of these stupid bikinis because they're not for the cruise; they're for this tanning bed place they have to go to, which is the next scene.
I love the one he got for himself.
I'm going to give her a lot of credit. Jamie Lee Curtis has always been very vocal about her body and how she ages, and she wants to age naturally. And she's in this bikini top to bottom, and I give her credit. She's still great looking. She was still great looking in this film, but it's not, 23-year-old great looking. She let everything show, and I give her a lot of credit for doing that. And I think, well, that's my next joke. And then the priest shows up, and Tim Allen comes running out, and he says, Father Zabriskie. The only thing worse than Curtis in bikini, which I just praised her, is Allen decked out in a blue Speedo that makes him look like he just stepped out of a gay bathhouse. He looked like a fucking idiot.
Because it looked like it was stuffed. I'm sorry.
Let me just say that it's not stuffed. It's the way they cut the bikini.
Is it?
Basically, you're putting the beans and the Frank into a packaged area that mushes them all together and makes everything look bigger. The whole point of that is for you to look like a codpiece bikini.
This looked like it was cut like a woman's full coverage bikini bottom.
On a very side note, folks, I'm going to be going shopping tomorrow and getting one of those full package Speedos.
There's underwear you can get that do the same exact thing.
Well, thanks, Chris. Why don't you send me the link to that later, and then I can do some holiday.
I've heard of those. Actually.
And folks, if you're looking for,
no, I'm not joking. And there's underwear like that obviously they cater more to the gay men.
Folks, if you're looking for last-minute gifts for honor night, that's it. Anthony Dinar. Now you know what you're getting me. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, here you go. Hey-o. I'm gonna have a great Christmas. Can't wait. All right, so basically they tried to, and also there's a comedian, her name is Aiden, I can't pronounce her name, but she was the one who
Arden Marine.
Yeah, well, I generally like, she's literally orange. She looks like a Oompa Loompa because she's she runs the tanning salon.
She's got Trump's tan
going on. She got the Trump tan going on. She's the joke.
I didn't recognize her.
We made the front page. Who the hell cares as much about a couple skipping Christmas? Oh, shit. Who the hell cares?
That's weird and invasive.
I know. Who the hell cares as much about skipping Christmas that it would make the local paper? I don't understand. 30-minute mark. They take a picture of them in the bikini and the Speedo. And what neighborhood is like this? Is there any neighborhood?
It was like a tabloid article.
It's creepy. It's crazy. Like, if I lived in this neighborhood, I would fucking move. And if you are living in this neighborhood...
And again, if this town was, like, more menacing, this would be fascinating.
Well, it reminded me of, like, a Stepford kind of thing.
Very
Stepford.
It's very Stepford. I mean, obviously, this is 12 years before Westworld kind of thing came out. But
Westworld was way before
kind of
this film. No, I know,
like,
but...
like the ham is people.
Yeah, but we had Stepford wives and...
Sort like ham.
Oh, boy.
The ham is people.
All right. We had Westworld and Invasion of Body Snatchers and all this crap way before this film came out.
I know.
No, we're talking about Westworld, the series.
No, I know, but I'm talking about Westworld, the actual fucking movie.
The movie, yes.
Forget the series. I'm just looking at that. I'm just saying we had that. But if they pushed it in maybe that direction a little bit, it could have been a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I would watch a remake with this concept pushed further.
Because
we've already written a better movie here.
Well, we did, but we've had a lot of Christmas horror films, but they're overtly horror. We've had Krampus and Silent Night, Deadly Night, and all this other stuff. But this is a little bit more subtle Christmas horror film. And I think if it was just pushed a little bit in that direction, we might have had a compelling film.
Great.
That's what I'm saying, just subtle. You don't have to go banana nuts. It could be a little Stepfordy, and then that's it.
Guys, if you want something good and kind of twist to watch Black Mirror's White Christmas episode.
Yeah, Griffin, Chris got a pretty good hard on for Black Mirror, and so yeah, guys, if you're watching that, apparently it's a pretty good show. I'm not quite sucking the dick yet on that. I'm not sucking the dick on that yet, but you got Ladywood. I'm not.
So actually, that was the high school my mom went to.
Ladywood?
Yes, it was called Ladywood.
Oh boy.
I swear to God.
No judgment there.
That's awesome.
Stop calling me old man. Would have been funnier if he kept calling him Buzz Lightyear, but only marginally more funny. That's M.M. Walsh, who is dead, I believe, at this point. Or maybe is he dead? I think he's dead. I think M.M. Walsh is dead.
Well, I know the guy who played the priest. It was his last movie ever.
Yeah, he's dead. Oh, and he was on.
No, M.M. Walsh is still alive.
But the other guy, Tom Poston, he played the.
You know what? He should be on Westworld.
Okay. Well, not everybody's gonna be on Westworld. All right. Are we done sucking the dick of Westworld? Are we done?
No.
Okay. All right.
Never.
Okay. Well, we'll wait for that podcast to come out. In the meantime, let's do this podcast. And we're back to Christmas.
Okay,
the Kranks.
Nora, that's what we're gonna call it.
Oh,
Sucking the dick of Westworld.
I thought we'd just call it Ladywood.
Oh yeah, Ladywood. There you go. All right. Folks, this is what happens when our guests don't show up. We just get stupid and, we drink too much eggnog and,
I haven't had anything to drink. She's high on NyQuil.
That's what they all say.
I literally have a fever.
Okay.
And cowbell
this whole thing is a fever dream.
Our big money makers are calendar. You know your film is in trouble when you have to pair up Cheech Marin with Jake Busey.
Jake Busey was still super cute.
Yeah, was Tommy Chong not available at the 33-minute mark? Were they not talking at that point?
No, was that when he was in jail?
I think it was when he was in jail.
Oh, okay, that's why. All right, that's legitimate.
Okay, rude.
But Jake Busey, no, first of all, it's not rude. First of all, but Jake Busey, really?
Why couldn't it have been Gary?
First of all,
he's crazy.
But these two guys do nothing funny in the movie, though.
Yeah, it would have made it amazing.
They didn't take Jake Busey and run with it, because he can do goofy shit.
They're the local cops who show up in every scene where there's cops required. There's no other cops in the city of Chicago or wherever they film this that these two guys always show up. Always, always, always.
Oh, and they go door to door trying to sell their calendar.
Basically, a montage of scenes of him not giving money to anything because they wanted to save money to go on the cruise. That's where we're at, folks.
That's a dick move. You're not that poor, asshole.
I know. Christmas carolers are not trespassers. No, but they are highly annoying, like Jamie Lee Curtis's wife hair. There you go with that.
Oh, man, that wig.
Her wig was fucking, wife hair. That is a terrible fucking mousy, average, middle class, average neighborhood wig.
It was an Osmond wig.
It was just helmet hair. It wasn't even good
hair.
Steel Magnolia's hair. No. It was just awful.
Curtis can't even manage to do anything interesting with the ball of yarn before she's startled by the carolers around the 37-minute mark. You know that push-in shot?
I think she missed her cue, and she
I think it's what it is, because...
Also, do they not have a TV in their house?
Well, no, yes, I know. They're doing old-timey, where he's reading a book in one chair, and she's in the background.
Is this the 70s?
Right.
Yeah, because he really strikes me as a reader.
But she's in the foreground reading a book. She's in the background doing this fucked up ball and yarn. The camera just has to track past him to get to her to see the window that's behind her where the carolers are making an appearance and scare her. The point is, though, she's not doing anything with the ball of yarn, and this is really bad. This throws you out of the movie when the actors aren't even in the scene. Even when they're on camera, she should have been doing something a little bit more there, and she's not. She didn't know they were filming. She's just she's half-assing it through it. Everybody in the film was just half-assing it. Nobody committed to the material at all. And that's the problem. There's not one actor in this film. There's not one. No, she did not.
I feel like she was just trying to do what.
No, she's getting a paycheck.
What she was given.
No, I don't even think that. I think that nobody was committed to anything, and I think it was a paycheck and a tax write-off for everybody involved. So there you go, folks. 37-minute mark if you want to see that yarn.
I still didn't understand why they were ducking inside their own house.
Well, yeah,
nobody could see them.
Right.
Yeah. They went down in the basement where the Home Alone furnace apparently lives.
And the Frosty. I mean, that was just.
Now we get the next montage. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Not as much as we hate this film, but including the unfunny sheet of ice on the front lawn and the frozen cat sequence at the 38-minute mark.
That's just a lawsuit waiting to happen.
He's an asshole.
That frozen cat thing was not funny.
It's not funny.
No.
It's not, if it was funny, it would be fine.
When they're trying to like do the cartoon eyes on this terribly frozen cat.
Oh, see,
like,
that's terrible. At a $60 million budget, I expected better CGI.
It went to the Frosties and the VW bug.
Yes. Luther, your face. Nothing dates your film faster than an unfunny Botox joke. You're welcome. 41-minute mark on that one.
This was probably, actually, I'm going to say this was the funniest scene in the movie.
Oh, come on,
no,
really?
He looked like a Vulcan car salesman.
With why is he wearing a Crockett Tubbs jacket?
We don't.
I
I know.
know.
He's got the Miami Vice jacket.
Yeah, Miami Vulcan.
It was funny when he was overplaying the Botox thing and the food just kept falling out of his mouth.
That's such a lazy
I
joke.
thought that was like, at least it was one actual scene that was going for humor that was pushing it a bit, and then the poking his face with the thing.
I don't know.
But
it just seems like a lazy
miraculously
joke,
wore off in less than 20
I know the next
Yeah,
scene, but I love how her reaction is so muted. If I showed up for lunch and my husband had Botox the shit out of his face like that, I'd be like, I do not know this crazy person.
Exactly.
She seemed so depressed to me, and
she was from doing this movie. Yeah. So he gets Botox to get ready for the cruise, and it's
she was like the female Matthew Broderick.
I'm coming home for Christmas. Was anyone else not surprised their idiot daughter would decide to come home for Christmas? Anyone? So this is the big plot twist, folks.
I was shocked.
Oh my God.
No, you were
not.
An
asshole for that.
She was an asshole.
My parents would have been like, well, you shouldn't have told us at the last minute. We made plans.
It is Christmas Eve. It is the night before their cruise, which they're leaving on Christmas Day. And this chick calls and says she's decided to fly home with their newly fiance, this Peruvian idiot.
As soon as the Jamie Lee Curtis agrees, and let me just say, the number one annoying thing for me in this movie, of course, is Jamie Lee Curtis's name is Nora in the film, and I lost count how many times somebody says Nora.
Yeah, I actually did not notice that. I did not notice that.
Yeah, I noticed that.
God, it bugged the shit out of me. But anyway, what was stupid is like, as a daughter, if I am falling in love with someone and I'm gonna probably bring them home, I'm gonna say something. But also, P.S. Here you are, you're this super epic Christmas celebrating family, and your daughter's in the Peace Corps, and you've decided because she's not going to be home, you're not going to do it. You call up your daughter or write her a postcard or something like, P.S. sweetie, because you're not going to be here, we're not going to celebrate a Christmas without you. So Daddy and I are going on a cruise. I mean, that takes 2 seconds.
Or why don't
just be honest.
Why don't they explain that to the townspeople? Like, our daughter's not here. We feel sad and lonely.
Don't feel Christmassy, so we don't want to do Christmas without her, so we're not doing it. And that would have been like,
they at least would not have been harassed.
All you gotta do is be honest. All you gotta do is be honest with that. But all right.
Well, and also, the way she talked about her boyfriend and was like, and he wants to marry me, and I really want to. It was like she was asking her parents to go to a party.
And why was he mute until like way late? I was stood there smiling and smugging, like, ugh.
It's a throwaway character. Alan banging his head repeatedly on the bedroom door around the 43-minute mark perfectly echoes how I felt watching this unfunny turd. Because he's listening to the phone call of her coming home and getting engaged and all this, and he's losing his fucking mind. So go get a tree. Well, now shift gears unbelievably as the Kranks perform a 180 and try to make Christmas happen in their home so their daughter doesn't find out they tried to skip it. I haven't seen a plot twist this stupid since every episode of Home Improvement. Hey-o! There you go. More power.
Well, his new show isn't any better.
I don't want. I don't like Tim Allen. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not on board with the Tim Allen train.
I like him as Buzz Lightyear.
I tolerate him as that, and that's it.
He's
pretty
much it. He's like a huge misogynist.
He should have just. He should have just stayed on cocaine at this point. I just want to talk to you, Spike. The way Alan tackles that kid on the front lawn around the 48-minute mark made me think he wanted to fuck him, not talk him. Talk to him. That was weird. Now it gets weird.
That's like press charges.
It is, because what happens is now he's got to make all Christmas happen. Now they go into Stupidville. Everybody starts getting dumb with it, and it's not funny dumb. It's just dumb. And he has to get a Christmas tree, so he tries to go to a lot, the Boy Scout lot. Of course, they dick him over because he dicked them over about the tree to begin with. They give him some piece of wood, and he can't use that. So his new thing is he needs to borrow the Christmas tree from the token black family across the street.
Oh, no, there was more than one.
You never see these guys until this specific scene.
Right.
Well, of course.
I didn't even realize it was on the same street.
Yeah, the focus group. group came back and said,
Right, we need black people. Yeah, exactly.
You're supposed to live in Chicago. How come
Right.
there's no black people?
So anyway, they have so his solution is to borrow their tree like the Grinch and just move it across into their house, which
You
is
break
really
one ornament.
I know, it's just really it doesn't make
This
sense.
is just stupid.
He needs an
Because
8-year-old.
Who's going to borrow
12-year-old.
someone
I
else's
know,
Christmas
I
tree?
know.
And also that stereotype of my wife's not gonna like it.
So-
Oh, really? You don't think your wife is gonna have some compassion about the situation?
No, not at all. So he has to employ this
But,
12-year-old kid to help
Let me
him
just
out.
say, a thing like a Christmas tree for most people, and I don't know how obsessed you guys are with Christmas, but like we have ornaments that are like family heirlooms
Oh
from
yeah,
like
you
the
want
1800s.
right, of course.
There's no way I would, and this is not an
No.
offense to like any friend that I have. There's no way I'm letting those things
No,
leave my
you're-
house and roll across the street to someone else's house and shit. I mean,
Nobody
like,
does this. It's stupid. It's
No.
Why is that Boy Scout the only lot available in Chicago?
Well,
But
and
the other thing,
buy
can I
a
just say,
fake
this is the
one.
same thing they did with the
Absolutely.
ham earlier, which we skipped
Oh,
over. That
no,
ridiculous
it's right
scene
here. It's the next
with
scene.
the
It's
ham.
the next
Is
scene.
that coming up?
Okay,
It's the next
okay,
scene, yeah.
okay, Nora, I'm sorry, but
Uh-oh.
I think that would actually happen in Indiana.
You might be right.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe there is a neighborhood where this shit might go down. And it might be where Griffin lives.
Across the street, there is a little lot that's next to this Coco's that closed down, but every year
Aw.
this lot is taken over by a guy called Big Wave Dave.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And Big Wave Dave's in October sells pumpkins, and then as soon as Halloween is over, the fucking Christmas tree is coming.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if I really wanted a tree, I could literally walk around the corner and get a tree.
Hickory Ham, guys. Anything she's doing in the store is not any more funny than what he's doing trying to get the tree across the street, right? Because the cops show up, right? Don't they they arrest him?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
do
they
arrest
throw him. Yeah, same two cops.
That's their beat.
that one.
It's one street beat.
The cul-de-sac beat. Law and Order cul-de-sac.
Dun dun dun. A case of wine for the four of us? Well, sounds about right if you're watching this film. So anyway, they're overly committed to. She comes up. She has
No,
a whole,
he's like still determined that they're not gonna have this party. He hates his daughter.
Yeah, no, well, I don't blame them. If they were just honest with her, they wouldn't have to go through all this rigmarole. So
Yeah, but it's weird. It's like it's two extremes with everything in this
I know.
plot point. There's no middle ground. Like she's too like hyper excited, and he's being too much of a callous asshole.
No, you're right.
There's no middle ground.
So she goes to the supermarket and has a whole thing with the ham, and it gets run over by a tractor trailer truck. And as a result of that, she comes home with some other bullshit with some smoked trout. He's got the tree jammed in the house like Clark W. Griswold, which was funnier in that film. Please, for God's sake, go watch Christmas Vacation.
Could anyone discuss the physics of this ham rolling through this parking
No,
lot?
it would roll
ridiculous.
once. It would roll
Over
once.
speed
I
bumps.
know. It would roll
Oh, my
once.
But can I just ask?
No,
This is a real question. This is a real
Oh,
honest
boy.
question. Are there really people that buy canned ham to
Yeah.
eat
Oh yeah.
for
Yeah.
Christmas?
No, that's true. That's
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
They're good.
David Letterman used to give them away
Yeah.
on his show.
Yeah. No, it's a thing. It's a thing.
I am so sorry. That's disgusting.
And we're not throwing shade
Well,
at folks.
I'm not approving it.
Don't unsubscribe us because you're having canned ham. We're just saying it's not our thing, but it might be
I
your
just
thing.
know
Happy holidays.
that's just a strictly
Oh,
meat.
is that-
I
is
can't- I
that
don't
the
eat
base?
pork, really, so.
We're expanding our processed meat space.
Exactly. So nothing's working. The jokes aren't working. Anyway, they have to get back to the house, and now there's a big rigmarole to get this party ready for when the daughter comes home. She's on a plane. You're on Hemlock. I certainly wish I was. Okay, he's talking about the road.
That's
He's talking about
terrible.
this street. I know. Hey, Mr. Crank is finally putting up his Frosty. In case you were wondering, Dan Aykroyd's fat ass is still in this turd at the 59-minute mark. He disappears for a good chunk of the running time because
It
he
makes
has
me
nothing to
wonder,
do.
Did they edit out a bunch more stuff? Or
I think they
something, you know,
did.
like-
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that just the film's what, an hour and 38 minutes, 39 minutes. It seems like a lot of it was jettisoned. It's just because it wasn't funny. It was an attempt at suicide. Sadly, the falling off the roof gag actually did commit suicide after appearing in this film. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the Griswold family. The hour and 1 minute mark on that one. Because now he decides to, in addition to everything else. So what happens is the stupid neighbors rally around these idiots to help them get ready for their party, even though they shouldn't. But dumbass Dan Aykroyd is saying, hey, we got community's more important than,
No.
Tim Allen being an asshole. But
But then it gets weird when he goes, remember Blair? She came home. She babysat all our kids. She brought us together.
I mean,
as
this
a
girl's like
community."
apparently a saint.
Apparently, she's like the female Barack Obama. the way they talk about her.
She's not. She's a complete asshole.
Inspirational.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So, because of that, because they want to, please the daughter and go on with this. It's like the ending to. What the hell was that movie with Funny Farm? Remember that with Chevy Chase? They want to do that.
Oh,
yeah. Which is a funny film,
I-
which is actually one of his last funny films. Which had that Norman Rockwell type of ending. That made more sense there. Here, we don't know enough about the daughter for it to warrant that. We had one scene at the beginning of the movie, and now this whole nonsense. I can't get behind the daughter because we just don't character-wise know enough about her. That's our screenwriting problem.
Stupid, oblivious.
She's a complete because she's more into her Peruvian boyfriend, who's a good-looking guy who's not Peruvian.
And traditions, and wants everything to be Norman Rockwell without thinking about the mechanics behind it.
You need to stall. You also need to stall in that seizure-inducing editing around the hour and 7-minute mark. I thought I was going to bite my own tongue off. There was some really bad editing between what the cops were doing and what was happening in the house. Yeah, it was a bad editing sequence there.
I got dizzy.
Yeah. Griff's already sick, and she has to watch this film on top of being sick, so that's doubly, yeah.
And I'm having PTSD from watching it in the theater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you and your mom are still suffering from PTSD.
We are. It's it brought back a lot of rough times.
I know. Also, stalling will consist of driving down the same backlot street we've seen for the entire film. Crest has been on the Warner Brothers lot. She's seen this whole street. She gets it.
Actually, I looked it up. It's the Universal lot.
Oh, is it really Universal? It didn't look like Universal.
Partially specifically, I think the New York. What's so weird is that when they're catching the burglar or whatever, or if we're at that part.
Yeah, we're almost there, and that fucking idiot.
Well, it's the New York Street backlot Universal Studios.
Oh, is it really?
For that portion,
okay.
And then the Culver Studios in Culver City.
Oh, it's Culver. Okay, so
yeah.
All right, so there you go, folks. We got that right. Not that you're gonna know it's a backlot. It's not a real street. The Eagle has landed, and it took a big shit on the movie-going audiences back in 2004. There you go, Griff. You and your mom got a big dookie on your head. Hey, fellas, how about a party tune? At this point, I think a Christmas lobotomy would be more welcome at the hour and 20-minute mark.
This is just an excuse.
Why are
I
they
think
singing?
Dan Aykroyd was like, I'm not doing the movie unless I can play the accordion.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yes, I think he demanded to play the accordion.
Yeah, there's a whole musical sequence where the Peruvian guy's got that guy that showed up at the liquor store. I guess he's Santa Claus. We'll talk about that. He sneaks into this party, and he's singing with him. Dan Aykroyd's got to play the accordion.
Oh my God! And the lip singing was terrible. Terrible.
It was terrible.
It's really bad.
Okay, maybe you ought to start thinking of others instead of yourself. When the hell did this turd become a Lifetime movie? This is where the movie really switches to this misplaced sentiment. Instead of being a raucous comedy, about the insanity of Christmas, instead it becomes a Lifetime movie at the back end of this turd. Tim Allen's still going to be a selfish asshole because now they have a big fight.
Now we're going to
believe he's
going to give away a $3,000 cruise.
Oh, so anyway,
I don't
they have
that.
They have a
1 second.
Yeah, because he can't accept the fact that he can't go on the cruise and this party's more important. I understand him being pissed though, because he spent $3,000 on this fucking cruise that they can't go on. I'd be upset. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck the daughter. Leave the kid at home.
That's what they should have said when she called. Guess what? We got non-refundable tickets to a cruise.
Exactly.
Enjoy the house.
Exactly. For 10 days?
You have a
I don't understand why.
No, she was too busy screaming about the fact that her daughter had a boyfriend. And also, like, how often do they hear from their daughter?
She was way too excited about her having a boyfriend.
It's really the wife's problem. It was her character that really did the 180 on this. And I would have really cited out that. I think that's a real problem. Basically, he gives the cruise away to M.M. and Walsh and his cancer-ridden wife across the street. Has to convince him to do that, because that's how he becomes a non-asshole, but he's still an asshole. That's why I said Allen's attempts to un-asshole himself at the back end of this turd land with about as much impact as anything else in this mess. Did anybody really care at that point or believe in this character really? Like, just give
No.
him no.
No, and he took so long just standing in the snow, and we're like, okay, what?
I thought he was just going to walk off from the whole thing. I literally thought he was like,
I know, like,
I'm out. Nobody
down.
wants
Oh,
me.
wouldn't it be
away.
great if he just walked into the distance and that was the end of the movie?
They do. It's a wonderful.
That actually would have been a better ending.
That would have been a better ending, because the guy's an asshole. He's still an asshole at the end of the movie. One thing he does, giving away the cruise, is not going to change it. I would have left on the cruise. I would have even left my wife. Fuck it. I spent $3,000. I'm out. Fuck you. Fuck the kid. Sorry. I've had a couple shots of tequila, but no, it's ridiculous. There's no way that this would have went down like that. The wife would have came to her senses and just been honest with the kids.
This is the terrible writing from Christopher Columbus.
Well, he used to be a decent writer. He used to be a good writer.
Is working on. Are you ready for the next two movies that he's working on?
Oh, is this going to give me a heart attack? Really?
Yes. Are you ready?
All right, go ahead.
He's working on writing, and this is writing now, Goonies 2.
Oh, my God.
And if that's not bad enough to destroy your childhood, Gremlins 3.
Oh, come on. Really?
I know.
I'm not even fucking with you right now. He actually wrote the original Gremlins.
Well, yeah,
and
that
the
was
original
fine.
Goonies.
That's fine,
And
but
Young Sherlock Holmes, which I loved.
that was fine too. But look, that was how many? It was 30 fucking years ago. Okay, now we're
I know.
the guy can't write anymore. Obviously, we're flushing his film, and he wrote in 2004. He directed two.
He hasn't written anything since then. He's written nothing since then.
No, he shouldn't be doing. No, we don't want to. We don't need any more
And
Goonies.
he's
We don't
only
need
doing
more Gremlins.
character
He's keeping
shit.
us in business.
Thanks, Cress. You fucked up my whole holiday season.
Why? He's
I'm
keeping us
sorry.
in
I'm
business.
sorry.
It's but it's films nobody wants, Griff. Nobody wants a sequel to Goonies.
Nobody wants, but we'll cover.
All right, it's Griff pimping the show. Nobody wants it, but we're gonna fucking flush it. Creepy CGI snowman and flying VW bug in the last shot may make about as much sense as seeing John McClane kill a terrorist in a Charlie Brown Christmas. What the hell happened with that last scene? Why do we have a CGI snowman and the VW? Why is it all of a sudden Harry Potter at the end of this movie?
And the Chicago skyline looks like, like something out of Divergent or something.
It's awful. This whole CGI sequence
but it doesn't make any sense. Because
terrible.
what happens is there's a robber in the house, and anyway, the guy who plays Santa Claus, there's a guy who turns out to be Santa Claus, and he drives away in a VW bug. There's a robber in the house, and he catches the guy that was trying to rob the house. Don't worry about the robber. It's Home Alone shit. It doesn't matter. Anyway, and at the end of the thing, the snowman that we're talking about, we've been talking about for 40, the entire time, one comes alive and winks at us, and then the VW bug that the Santa Claus guy drives away in is led by reindeer, and it flies up. But it has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. It's just like...
Exactly.
Oh, it was so frustrating.
And that I guarantee you a lot of the budget went to that sequence.
I think so. $60 million budget, guys. Now you know where it went. Didn't go for the talent. My guy, crest on credits. What do we got?
Nothing. They just show like stills from the scenes, like their Christmas cards.
Really?
The first one, of course, that they show is that picture of Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen in the bikinis.
Yeah.
Like it's a Merry Christmas from the Kranks, and it's just weird and stupid, and then it's really bad renditions of White Christmas and other things, like all through the credits, and then there's nothing.
All right, so there you go, folks. That is Christmas with the Kranks for your Jingle Turds this week. We took it out. We played with it a lot longer than we should have. Can we flush it, ladies? Can we please flush it?
Flush it with Frosty.
Oh my God, please flush this gigantic turd. You may have to get like an object to break it up. So it will all
I had that problem earlier today with my toilet. Consider it flushed. There you go, folks. That is it for this. That's your Jingle Turds for this week. I want to thank my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin, and Raging Buddha Bee movie queen Nora Crest. Thank you, ladies. Great job as always. I want to thank our very special guest. None, because they fell asleep and didn't fucking show up. So thank you very much for that. And we love them, though. We do love them, though. The two guests we had scheduled, so hopefully they will be back on a future episode. So we soloed it. I think we did pretty good. And we're going to be back next week to wrap up Jingle Turds month. And boy, we got a good one for next one. That may break us. So next week may break us. It may. We're not telling you, folks, but I'm telling you right now, it involves a lot of pussy. Until then,
a lot of nasty pussy
and Christmas pussy, nasty Christmas pussy. I guess we can agree with that.
Oh
Until then, woo! Say goodbye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
They're shocked in the silence at the end of the show. All right, woo!
God.
Hey, this is Honor Knight, and I want to thank you for listening this week and every week as we flush these turds down our cinematic bowl here in the Restroom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music so you don't miss a single episode. You can also follow us on Twitter and use the hashtag PotternFamily, like us on Facebook, circle us up on Google+, and check out all of our episodes at our home restroom on the net, signalsoffury.com. Until next time, remember, we're here to flush it so you don't have to see it. I am Honor Knight, and this has been the award-winning Soiled Restroom Cinema.